Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Tactics FCB, the channel where we discuss Barcelona's tactics and everything that the team does basically. Alright, and in this game we're going to talk about El Clasico, and I just wanted to do something different a little bit, talk about Real Madrid and Barcelona. So we're going to start off with Real Madrid, but before we get into that, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you do. It's going to help us a lot, and also leave your thoughts down below. I want to thank everybody who has given me suggestions, especially in the last video. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you for speaking to me and talking to me. I will reply to all your comments, and it does mean a lot to me. All right, so let's start off with Real Madrid. It's actually really hard to see what Real Madrid is trying to do, you know, because they are all over the place. Look, where's Vinny? I don't know. I don't even know who this is, you know. There's some new players over here. I think that might be Mariano or something, and this is this is Fede Valverde, and then you can see Vasquez is sprinting down over there, right? But what Real Madrid is doing in this picture right now, they were mainly playing from the second ball, right? Trying to force Barcelona to play the ball high, and then they would try to win the second ball, and then they would actually go on to attack. That was mainly what Real Madrid tried to do. They rarely ever played out from the back, so they would go long, and then they would duel Barcelona in the air, and the second ball they would try to win it, which is exactly what Fede Valverde did over here. So that is second balls were Real Madrid's main focus, because you can see there's no width over there, so not even stretching us or anything like that. You can see here the same. The ball is coming from a second ball, and Rudiger picks it up, and he's actually trying to take on the goal, right? But one thing I want you to notice, there's a reason why Rudiger is inverted like this and Vinny Jr. is making a run in behind. That was done because of Ronald Araujo being strong, so they actually teamed up with him, right? This is why you would see Raphinha back in this position to help Araujo back. So Vinny would either invert and make runs in behind, Rudy would then cut inside, or he would be in the half space, and Rudiger would actually overlap. And that is all because Ronald Araujo was really strong, right? So in this picture as well, not in this picture, I'm going to show you a picture just now. What's happening here, Real Madrid also tried to play with a really high line, you know, because they wanted to put pressure on Barcelona, trying to force the ball. And you can actually see this is the Lewandowski trying to play a false 9 row, and they would actually win the second ball from there, and they would attack immediately. That is all that Real Madrid basically did against Barcelona. Now here's the picture I was just referring to earlier on, where Vinny Jr. is actually inverted, and then he drew Araujo out of his position, and then Rudiger would do the overlapping runs, and these two are basically teaming up on Vinny Jr. And the reason why this move was successful was because Raphinha didn't make it back in time, you know, and that is all because Araujo being so strong. So they focused on that left hand side, you know, and yeah, so that was just how they tried to do everything and get past everybody. Same picture over here. Now over here, I want you to note how far back is how far forward is Mendy actually over here, right? And the false 9 position again here. And then, like I said, Real Madrid was all over the place. They mainly focused on the second balls, and then they would actually focus on the left hand side. You know, they only started stringing passes together when Kroos and Modric and Casemiro came on. They controlled the midfield a little bit. That's why we weren't able to do anything basically. So yeah, Real Madrid was very strong when these guys actually came on. You can see there's nobody pinning Barcelona back. They had the width, but nothing was happening. Nothing really was happening from Real Madrid's side. They were just playing second balls and focused on Barcelona's left hand side. And guess who's playing on the left hand side? Vinny Jr., their strongest player basically. So that is all what Real Madrid basically did. All right. Alright, so when it comes to Barcelona had a variety of ways, of course, playing out from the back and doing all of these things, even in defense. You know, we know by now what Barcelona does in defense, pressing high, gegen pressing, counter pressing, sometimes even going man to man. But I want you to focus on I wanted to focus on building up from the back. All right, Barcelona had something at the back here that looks like this back four. There was like almost like lopsided, Ter Stegen more or less played to the right hand side of his goal to make up four. He didn't want to be at the back over there because there's going to be too much a bigger gap there. So they played in this lopsided back four when building out from the back. So Serginho Dest would actually invert, and that is where they would create this diamond that I drew here for you guys so that you can see. And of course the reason for that diamond was because of the midfield three, especially Cruz and Casemiro, and this worked wonders. It's just that Barcelona couldn't finish especially in the second half. They couldn't finish the chances. I saw KCA dribbling because of this trio, right? I saw what's his name, Ansu Fati, Sergio Roberto, not Ansu Fati, Sergio Roberto. There's a few guys that actually burst through because these three in the midfield of Real Madrid were overloaded. So now some of the centre backs has to go. One of the centre backs has to go forward, and that is where the number 9 or one of the midfielders burst through the gap over there, and then we more or less had 3-on-3 situations where they would burst through, and then they were in on goal. So Real Madrid actually adjusted to this, and then they just focused on closing down the middle. So that's when Barcelona went back, and Ter Stegen would actually find the centre backs. And Barcelona actually built out through the back successfully in this shape because we had triangles literally everywhere over on the pitch, So this is actually the shape, the midfield trio, the front three pinning back the centre backs, and then you had the full backs. Like I mentioned in the last video, the whole back line move in their normal position, they move forward. And Real Madrid didn't particularly press high. They choose their moments, of course, but they didn't do anything to Barcelona at all, right? Now, when Barcelona arrived in the final third, there was nothing like fixed, in the sense of Barca doing similar things over and over and over again. And this is really something good, all right? This is really something good, and I love the fact that we are now more flexible than we used to do, like back in the day. And this is just incredible to see, So we saw Dembele actually inverting a lot more, playing and even overloading the midfield a lot, because one of the midfielders actually went up to make a front two, and I mentioned to you guys, we're going to see a lot of this in the second half. Xavi shook things up a little bit, so we had a front two. So this was a lot of the time it was KCA, so we had a front two. So we had one number 10, and then the single pivot, and then so Dembele would come into midfield inverting a lot, and then Serginho Dest would actually play like a winger / fullback. So this is what happened. We had Memphis Depay on the other side, one-on-one with the fullback there, and then Alejandro Balde. Actually, I don't think Xavi trusts this guy going forward, so he was actually making up part of a back three. So that's basically the shape that Barcelona did. Real Madrid coped with this very good because the centre backs now would actually be one-on-one. Now, something incredible that Xavi did, he let these two up front play behind each other. So now Barcelona had a lot more players centrally. All right, we had the diamond, the 4 players centrally, and now these guys are actually now behind. So first and second striker, which means the deep line player of Real Madrid couldn't press up high. He was pinned back by this number 8, and it created some sort of a hole in this region over here. For whatever reason, Barcelona couldn't take advantage of this hole over here. All right, so we reverted back to having a pivot. So this most of the time was Sergio Roberto. Kessié came totally back to form a pivot, and Barcelona was just doing this because they were going into that moment where they decided we are ahead, we don't need to do something crazy. All right, and this actually worked wonders for Barcelona. You know, we had the one-on-one situations. Rudiger and Mendy was pinned back by Serginho. Memphis came inside as well a lot of the times, but for whatever reason, Alejandro Balde wasn't trusted to make the overlapping runs. You know, and this is why the second half was a lot more static and stale, like it's not usually the case. You know, with Jordi Alba normally overlaps, but yeah, that is what Barcelona did. All right, in El Clasico, it wasn't for points or anything like that, and Xavi didn't want to go wild. You know, he just wanted to get his players out there, even though it didn't look like that. But yeah, as I mentioned, Ancelotti didn't do a lot either. You know, so that was just it. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and like this video. Also comment down below and let us know, what do you think about El Clasico? All right, what do you think about what could we have done better? What do you think? And let us know down in the comment section. As I mentioned, please do subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.